What's up? We're here at another Quick Trip Chronicle. Oh God. We have our notes up on our phone because we're talking about Colorado. We touched base very shortly in the last video on a track day for the lowrider. What? So that's what today's video is going to be about. It's going to be touching base on Colorado that's coming up next month, as well as the track day that's coming up later down the line. Oh, there we are. Oh man, we started working out at the gym again and we can feel it. Get these puppies back on to yellow and we're good to go. So back to the old QT. We're just gonna do a quick ride around. What's up, brother? Quick ride around Lake Travis, because this is one of the go-to spots to go ride around if you're in the Austin area, North Austin, because it is nice riding. Although you're gonna get some city views here in a second. What's up, everybody? We're here with another video, although today is going to be a little bit different because we have a ride announcement. Shoot off the sirens, the notification settings, the dings. That's right, we have a Colorado ride announcement, as well as touching base on our track day with Ride Smart in Houston, and touching base on Colorado. That's right, we're finally making it to Colorado. Now, the date that you need to know for my Coloridians, as you saw in the last video, we did a brief announcement saying that we were going to Colorado and to drop what city you're from so we can try and coordinate some sort of ride or meetup. And the people have spoken, or at least the ones that commented. Most of y'all tend to be in the greater, and I mean greater like within 50 miles, 70 miles of the greater Denver area, which really works out because that's where a lot of the riding I wanted to do is primarily at. What's up, him? So the date of the ride is going to be Saturday, July 11th. We're going to be up there in Fort Collins from the 10th all the way to Sunday. And then I can't remember if we're leaving Sunday morning or Monday morning. I think we're leaving Monday morning back here to Texas. So Saturday, July 11th, be there or be square. The actual location to meet up at, I'm still not sure, but it's going to be headed out towards, also still not sure, but I was thinking Mount Evans. You know, maybe get out there relatively early, do a meetup time at like 9:30, 10, and kickstands up 30 to 40 minutes after that. Or meet somewhere in Denver just outside it, and then work our way to Mount Evans, do that, take a photo op, enjoy that, have fun, and then ride back down that really squiggly road if it's open. I'm not too sure if that's kind of like a Pikes Peak thing where all the way to the top they 86'd it. But then from there, work our way to Breckenridge for a lunch, and then kind of do a north loop back up through Fort Collins and Denver, and that's kind of where the ride ends in that general area, so people can shoot back down to Denver Highway if they choose to, or hang out in Fort Collins for a dinner. But that's what I'm thinking. So it's kind of 80% set up. Let me know if there's any places to check out in that area, kind of a cool ride that you know of, either in the Fort Collins or part of that ride that we're gonna be doing. And again, this is just loosely set up, and I was like, that would be cool. And Mount Evans looked like a dope spot. I just Googled great places to ride in Colorado, and that was the first one that came up. And then another one came up that had that same road or highway, and I said, all right, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a popular one. Now, if you're in other areas of Colorado, fret not if that's too far, because that was the hardest thing, was trying to figure out the overall plan of how to fit, and this isn't even fitting half the stuff I wanted to do, but how to make it the most practical means of traveling across the state for what I wanted to check out, because I didn't want to go from the southwest part of the state to the northwest only to go back to just north of southwest, etc., etc. And I've decided, after doing countless hours of Google Maps, general routes, it's going to be that we're going to work our way through New Mexico. It also depends on the schedule, if we're going to stop in New Mexico for a night, enjoy that, or just shoot straight up to southwest Colorado, where we're going to be staying in general Durango area, north of Durango, where it's going to be, but we're going to be riding through Durango, checking out Durango Harley-Davidson, saying what's up to Trevor and the team over at Durango HD. And I think the place I got the campsite at is going to be the Amphitheater Campground. It looked really dope. I don't think I got the site I wanted. I believed it was already reserved when I was looking at it, but I said, we're just going to snag one. Oh God, I was trying to avoid that beat. It was like going with my head movements. And from there, we're gonna work our way kind of through Aspen, that general area. I'm not too familiar with Colorado 100%, but just kind of southwestern Colorado, and then working our way up towards Fort Collins, the back route, and where we'll be staying in Fort Collins for the weekend of July 10th. Well, we should be getting in there Friday. I'm not sure if it's gonna be afternoon or evening, depending on when we get there. This is all subject to change, but that ride is gonna happen Saturday, July 11th for sure. We will be up and awake and present, and that's why I'm kind of thinking of the meetup where those in Denver, the general Denver area, can just go west, and we'll be coming southwest from Fort Collins. I think it's about an hour and a half. And then with all the timing, it'll be perfect for lunch in Breckenridge. And I just love Breckenridge. That's pretty much one of the few spots I have been in Colorado. So it's just one of the things that would be cool to check out non-winter. And so that's the plan. So mark your calendars for July 11th. As for the specific meetup location, that still has yet to be determined, but I'm thinking some variation of a coffee shop. More than likely, it will be a Starbucks. Connor, you really drink a lot of the Starbucks, bud. It's because there is convenience and power in their locations, because they're practically everywhere in almost every corner. Some corners even have 2 Starbucks, which makes no sense, but again, the demand is there, so why not? I can't even do a 3, look at that. I can't do that 3. That was my right. With my left, 1, 2, 3. See, that's super easy. I can't do it with my right. We got a train, so 1, 2. That really takes a lot of effort to do that 3. Now that we have gone to a more scenic area, we're going to be talking about our track day, and what better spot to talk about it than on the local favorite, LC. I don't want to reveal the name. LC, baby. Ooh, that got kind of squirrely there. Ooh, that dropped. Yes, touching base on our track day. Now, it's nothing crazy. We're not gonna be going balls to the wall, but we're still gonna be having tons of fun, because with RideSmart, that's the organization that I'm doing it with. Before going any further, if you're interested in getting more information on exactly what is RideSmart, what you'd expect from a track day, if you're in Central Texas, your local state may have a different organization. Like here in Austin, there's RideSmart, and then there's also, I think it's Ride 316 or something. But the difference between those two is that Ride 316, Ride 316, I believe, is only sport bikes. They don't allow cruiser rides, just because I think the skill level for most of their rides tend to be faster, and they don't want someone slow. I don't know, I'm just speculating, but that I know that there's 2 companies that offer track days. That's kind of an online, that's kind of a coaching system. But we decided to go with RideSmart. I first found out about it at a local bike night, thanks to a local sport bike group here in the Austin area. And it's been an interesting experience, because I always kind of saw them post about it, and I was curious, and I had looked at it, and then at that bike night they were giving away, for part of their prizes were free track days. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was kind of excited, but we didn't win. And so that was kind of the first introduction to RideSmart I got in track days. And then shortly after, Wes, he had a bagger. I'm pretty sure you saw the photo circulate Instagram, because it got a pretty good amount of attention, and it looked so dope. Wes was on, I believe 2019 was the year, it was going to be Road Glide Special, and he was on Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, but I think it's Del Valley is the actual location of the city. This is a turn we're still progressing at and trying to get better at, just because that guardrail kind of throws me off. And then looking through the turn, I want to look at the guardrail. But anyway, back to where we were, and seeing those photos, it just looks so wicked. And then of course you have National Motors, Geyser, and Tony Shreds from Shred Motoco, etc. And a lot of it's real prominent in California, but here in Texas, not quite so much if you're on a cruiser. Now, if you're on a sport bike, everybody does track days. That's all you kind of see in the group, is that a lot of them participate, but with Harleys, not quite so much. And I really got the bug after Geyser. I want to give a huge shout out to Geyser for giving me a few tips on kind of body positioning, approaching, entries, exit, and even just in the little that he kind of pointed out, our riding has gotten so much better. I mean, we're still kind of, we're not the fastest out of all the groups that I ride with, but it's definitely improved. And I also, if you haven't noticed, I like to ride in a higher RPM, just because I have the security of the engine brake in case I'm going too hot and heavy, kind of like here, to kind of blanket me and say, hey dude, let me hold you while you go through this turn. And so there is a difference between the locations of your track for RideSmart. The one that we're doing is going to be MSR in Houston, and that one's $170 for 1 day. So if you want to do 2 days, it's 170 times 2, and then the gas out there, etc. But the cool thing about RideSmart, be sure and check out their website for more information, like I stated earlier. And it sounds like a promotion for them, but it's really not. I'm just excited for it. It's that they have several coupon codes for depending on what track day you do, and then what day you can find it in their links. That gives you 50% off for your first track day. That's one. It's not going to be like your first combo track day if you're doing a weekend. But it's really cool because it brought that $170 down to $85. And then your first time, and then on your first time, your leathers, the suit is free rental. You click the first time free rental or something like that. And then your boot rental is free. Boom! And then all you have to bring is going to be a DOT or Snell certified helmet that is not compromised, aka has a crack or you dropped it, kind of like what happened with ours, and then we need a new helmet. And then the gauntlet gloves, those are going to be your kind of 3-inch past the wrist gloves. That's the one that we tried on the other day and we ended up ordering. Now you don't have to order gear, kind of we went overboard. Now we're not looking to compete. As we say in the other video, it's just going to help us be a better rider, kind of with exits, entries, body positioning, and how to handle our bike. Now, that's going to be the interesting thing that I'm curious about, is I'm sure it's universal relatively when it comes to body positioning, entries, exits, but it might be a little bit different on a Harley. And that's why I think it's exciting, is that the movement on a Harley is much more exaggerated. And so just leading off the bike to kind of help bring it into the corner, and if I really need that additional oomph, I can dip the bike in and it's going to help me achieve that turn. Now again, this is all new rider information relative, because I'm not that aggressive of a rider. Oh, this was a terrible turn that we did. Oh, see, we probably would have ended up wide. It's been a while since I've done that turn that bad. But again, I'm happy with the rest of the run that we've been doing so far. I feel confident, I feel better. But again, we're nowhere near a lot of these California boys. It's funny because the other day I was riding and I guess my boot touched my exhaust too much, for I guess too long, and then it burned my boot. That was a good one. But I'm excited. The day of our track day that we're going to be doing, it's not until September. And it feels like it's so far away. But also with Colorado, I wanted to make sure that I had ample time to recover funds if I need some. And it's just going to give me the opportunity to kind of not have to pinch pennies because budgets are so close back to back. With Colorado, it's going to allow me the ability to spend however I want to spend, because I also want to purchase a canopy from Academy. It's like 60 bucks, maybe an extra bench, maybe an extra chair, and a couple of small things, cooler, etc. So that way our time spent at the track is comfortable. That way we can put the awning out. We're going to take the bike inside the van and put the awning out and we can chill. I've never been to this track day, but that's what a lot of these guys in that Facebook group do. And so I'm kind of just following suit, and I'd rather have it. And they're like, oh, you can't really use that here, sorry, do like the location, because I think the paddock, some have paddocks, some don't. But if they don't have a paddock, they're like, oh, you should have brought your own canopy. I don't want to be just sitting inside the van. And that way it just allows me the convenience and comfort. Now, if we happen to have a good amount of funds left over from Colorado where we didn't spend what we thought we would, then we may do a track day in July, and you may have a video way sooner than before. That's going to do it for this week's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. If you look forward to hearing more about track days and seeing the track day video, as well as found any value from it, hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, bump on over and hit that bell to be notified of any future videos when they drop, as soon as they drop. Until then, catch you on the next one. Cheers.